I was 3 years old, and my mom and dad really felt the Lord put on their heart to start a church in the Woodlands, Texas, just north of Houston. And we rented out a school. Around 200 people came that first service. And so, here we are 30 years later in this space. The scale might look different, but that need for human connection is the same. God uses people to reach people. That same desire to see families restored, to see life change happen.
This was the first church I came back to, I guess. And it was huge. I realized this had been what I was missing. I was just at peace with a lot of stuff that was going on in my life at the time. I felt like that's what I want other people to experience.
When I'm leading worship and I think about everything represented by the people in this room, all those life experiences, all those other connections, the hurts, the joys, the things that they're carrying in, when we lead others in that, it's not about putting on a show. It's not about putting on a face and trying to put on a big production. We worship and praise God because he's worthy of it, no matter what our circumstance is. More than that, we want to be genuine with each other. Otherwise, why are we even meeting together? Well, so this building was built in 2001, and we had the same PA from then in this room until this system. So we really rode that one for all it's worth.
We've run into a lot of frustrations with a 20-year-old system that's falling apart. We can't get parts for anymore.
It varied. It was the whole spectrum across the entire room. It was just different everywhere.
It was already dated, but then when we were having reliability issues, it was like, man, we have to have church every weekend. Can't just be like, sorry.
We had realized years ago that we needed a new system. We really were looking for something to give us consistency across every seat.
We went through several different designs, all D&B.
We got to a fork in the road. They needed to make a decision between, we were going the Soundscape direction, or if we needed to go the direction of the conventional, stereo with outfills. In the conversations that we had, it was like, we can talk about this all day long, but you as the engineer you have to hear it, you have to touch it, you have to feel it, you have to mix on it.
We got to go to their Asheville, North Carolina location. We took our multi-tracks so we could really experience, is this going to be something that is going to fit our vision and needs of the church?
We went from the 180 to slowly unmuting surrounds. And once he kind of figured out what he could do in that space, there was definitely a light bulb moment. And it was okay, they're going Soundscape and they're not going any other direction from here.
The week that we installed it, I had people come up to the booth and were like, I've never heard it sound like that in this room. Even knowing how Soundscape worked and having listened to it, I didn't think it was going to be as noticeable as it was. It's almost like the sound system it's there, but you're not thinking about the sound system. You're thinking about what's being fed to you.
And as a worship leader, it's not even just, this is going to sound great. I know that no matter where anyone's sitting in this room, they're going to be hearing the same thing. They're going to be hearing it the way that I intend them to hear it.
The innovation was huge. So, I can place background vocals or choir or anything like that behind you and EQ it and process it in such a way where it just sounds like the crowd is singing. And then that in turn encourages the crowd to sing more.
That was our goal with the system, is to create an atmosphere where people feel like they can engage without feeling like they're sticking out of the crowd.
And it's not about people raising their hands, but people just singing, not being as conscious of where they're at.
The timing could not have been more perfect for the release of XSL. It just fits our room perfectly.
And the amount of punch and low end that you get off of it is unreal, especially for anything in that size category. The other plus side of it is it is an SL series cabinet, so there's a lot of rejection on the back end of it. Keeps our stage a lot quieter. So when the pastor's speaking, everyone can hear. No one's straining to listen. It draws your attention down to the stage.
It's so important to remember that when we do this, it's not about so people can say, man, what a great sound system. I really hear the fidelity. It's they just think this is powerful.
You can see the payoff from the investment. You can see it in the crowd engagement. You can see it in just the overall enjoyment of the experience, just helping get that message across clear and with no distractions. Nothing that would draw you away from the message.